So you wanna be a picture book writer, then you gotta write picture books. And you're gonna need a bucket load of bright ideas for titles, plots, and hooks. If you're partial to prose or you're raring to rhyme, then repeat after me. It's a challenge, but I'm gonna tackle each story 1 month at a time with 12 by 12.
This is a big question, but I think it's really important. So you talked a lot about heartline or through line, and Annette is asking, can you recommend more resources about a book's heartline or finding it? And I'm very curious to hear your answer too, because sometimes that part is really tough for me, and it is like if you can't find it, you don't have a book, in my opinion.
In many books, it is the repeated refrain that holds it together, much like in a song. In my first book, Jingle Dancer, Jenna says over and over again, "May I take enough jingles to make a row?" Jenna said, not wanting to take so many that Mrs. Scott's dress would lose its voice. And so in that, you get the idea of the gift. You get the idea that there is a reciprocal interest. And in the end, she dances for all the women who share regalia with her. So repetition is a place that it comes apart. If you look at the book, and many books have this, there is a reoccurrence of an event. A child goes to this person, this person, this person, and this person. Whatever the heart of that reason is, what is in common about brings them there is probably what is holding the whole story together. So much in the way, I'm blanking on the name. I apologize. At Sensations, we interviewed an author just this week in this issue, who said that for verse novels, she thinks of each verse as pearls on a string. And what you're looking for is the string.
Yeah.
What is the uniting force and focus?
Yeah, that's a great image. And I only laughed because, again, in the Julie Andrews bio, her singing instructor taught vocal placement, like placing pearls on a string, but it was and I could not understand. I'm not a singer, and it practically broke my brain trying to figure out what she meant by that. And I think in the musical sense, it's actually the opposite, right? Because you want the pearls to kind of be touching so you don't see the space. But I don't
They're graduated.
Like, luckily I wrote it well enough and put it out of my mind, but I do love the idea of the string. That is much easier for me to understand. I think sometimes you get hints from the title too, right? Like, just like Grandma seems to be
Stitches of tradition.
right. Pretty clear about
I am Osage,
and
right?
yet though the theme is not necessarily the same thing as the heart line or the through
It's
line,
not,
right?
but they do have a parallel relationship. One supports the other.
Right. I don't know why it seems so simple when you're reading other people's books, and for some reason it's difficult as a writer, because a lot of times I think maybe you're just trying to do too much in a story. So do you have revision suggestions for people who struggle with that?
Occasionally, I'll list more than one potential heartline and say you really have 2 books here, you really have 3 books here. Which one is your priority at this point? And maybe you can revisit the others in the future. I think sometimes as writers, especially when we're new and we've been working a really long time, we're working hard toward publication, we kind of want to kitchen sink it, right? Like, we may never get to tell the story again. We need to talk about all the things we care about, and we don't. There is take advantage of the counter. Put some other things aside. It doesn't have to be everything now. In fact, you'll be glad in the future that you have additional ideas to touch on. And many of us have themes for our work that we touch on again and again in different contexts. So you don't have to be all or nothing in every project or your first project.
Do it together so never you fear. It's a handy little way to help you kick into gear. You're amazing, exciting. Look out, 'cause you're writing 12 by 12. 12 manuscripts. 12 by 12. 12 picture books. 12 by 12.